What's happening, guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video we have one heck of a discussion video as we finally got our first Transformers livestream of 2023, where they gave us some great reveals for Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts, as well as finally gave us some official confirmation and reveals and even some pipeline reveals for Transformers Legacy Evolution Wave 2 and Wave 3. Yes, Wave 3. So very exciting things to talk about in today's video, and I'm so excited to actually be talking about some official reveals. So let's jump into it. So they basically gave us a recap of the first wave of Rise of the Beast figures, you know, RC, Freezer, Battletrap, Bumblebee, Scourge, etc. The only characters I'm going to be talking about are where we found out new details about them. So here we have an actual CG render of Core Class RC, and she looks so much better than that official product shot that was leaked a few weeks back. I mean, the detail on the face looks wicked. For a Core Class, I think her robot mode looks sick. The only thing which kind of bugs me would be the kibble on the back, but for a Core Class, honestly guys, it's not the end of the world. And it's not going to be a case like the Bumblebee movie Core Shockwave. This is how she will be to scale in the movie. So she is a Core Class just because naturally she's going to be about 8 to 9 feet in the movie. So it's a little bit of a shame that we're not going to be seeing a deluxe class of this character, as the design is so awesome. But who knows, you know, 1 to 2 years down the line, they could maybe do something like we saw with the Voyager Hot Rod, where it's a smaller scale figure but with better engineering, etc. So I am hoping to see a deluxe version of this character in the future, but for now, for Core Class, not looking too bad. And here we have an image of her in the bike mode. I'm not 100% certain that this is officially licensed. It does look very accurate to the bike seen on set, but yeah, really awesome. We'd also got a few additional shots of Cheetah. It showcases how the almost spear-like weapons he has will be able to attach on the back of the Cheetah mode, and it kind of looks like a turret. It's a little unfortunate that it can't store within the body, but I mean, to be fair, that was probably out of the question. Weapon integration is never really Hasbro's strong point, and we also got an official reveal for the Rise of the Beast Leader Class Scourge, which finally, I've been teasing it for so long. Definitely be sure to smash that subscribe button, as I will hopefully have a review for this guy up and over on the channel before this week is out, and it is such a killer figure, definitely worth the wait. And whilst we're on the topic of Scourge, we finally found out more details about that very mysterious Core Class Terracon Freezer, and I'm glad I've done this video slightly later in the day, as the designer himself, he actually put out some proper images of Freezer in his alt mode, showcasing that he's going to be able to combine with Scourge in both robot and vehicle mode. And it also showcases, I think he has 3 or 4 distinctive weapon modes. It was also mentioned that this character won't transform in the movie, so it is literally just going to be like a Decepticon drone, like we saw for Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon, etc. If you're a fan of the live action movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about in regards to these protoforms. But I like that they've actually given him a purpose, and the paint deco for a Core Class is sick. So he's going to have his own distinctive turret mode, and then I think 2 weapon modes, one which can be held in robot mode, and then another which can be stored on the back of Scourge when in truck mode. Now, considering it was stated straight away this guy won't transform in the movie, I think it's unlikely we're going to see these weapon combos in the film, but at least to me, this throws me back to the old Revenge of the Fallen Hunt for the Decepticon days, where Hasbro would give these kind of cross compatibility between the different scale points, and I'm all here for it. It's about time we saw something like this for Core Class, and this is definitely going to be a really exciting core figure. I think I'm more excited for this guy than I am for RC, and that pretty much wrapped up our Studio Series Rise of the Beast reveals. You know, nothing that we didn't really already know, but very exciting things. I'm looking forward to Wave 2. I think that's the wave where they're going to give us Optimus Primal maybe, but let's jump into Transformers Legacy Evolution Wave 2, and we're starting off with a character which up until this point we didn't see, and it would be the next Dinobot in the Volcanicus Combiner, that being the Core Class Grimlock. Now, I've kind of learnt my lesson with the Slug and Sludge review to reserve my judgment for when I actually get them in hand. Because they're Core Class, you know, straight away they're compromised, and because they're a part of a combiner, they're never going to be 100% perfect, but Grimlock doesn't look too bad here in robot mode. The only thing which is kind of throwing me a little off would be the head looks tiny in comparison to the big chunky legs, but he will become the legs to Volcanicus, which we'll get into in just a second. Here we have an image of him in the Dino mode, the T-Rex mode, which looks cool. The tail looks a little chunky, but for a Core Class, not too bad, especially when you compare it to that Power of the Prime's Voyager figure that was released a few years back. And here we have an image showcasing the Slug and Sludge combination with Grimlock attached as a foot. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Grimlock basically being a leg. You know, he's the king of the Dinobots. He should be slap, bang, and center in that combined mode, but I think there are rumors trickling around that this is going to be repainted and retooled into a Dino King. That's why the Triceratops head has to be in the center. I guess only time will tell. I guess it spices things up. And, you know, the leg mode, I'm not sure if it was 100% transformed in this image. It doesn't look the best. To me, it looks a little too disproportionate. The leg looks very thick, especially where the shin is. And the upper body, you know, Slug and Sludge, don't look the biggest, but like I said, gonna reserve my judgment for this when I actually get it in hand. And then we jump into a core class figure that when was originally kind of leaked in the listings, I wasn't interested in at all, but now we have a proper photo, and I like this even better than the first one. So this is a core class Nemesis Prime, a redeco of the core Optimus we saw for Wave 1 in Kingdom, and it looks awesome. I mean, the color deco straight away is just fantastic, but he also will come with the axe. I think the axe was accidentally showcased on the instructions of the original core class Prime, and now we know where it's going to go. It's here for Nemesis Prime, done in that wicked Nemesis teal color, which I think looks fantastic. Here we have an image of him here in the vehicle mode, fully decked out metallic silver rims, better than that original Kingdom Optimus Prime in my opinion. And we have another redeco recolor, which is Thundercracker. As you guys all know, we've completed the Seekers now. Looks cool. It's nice to see this being a straight up repaint of Starscream and not Skywarp, meaning that he'll actually come with the null rays. A little unfortunate, you know, just for good gesture, they didn't throw in the Skywarp null rays, especially as I think they know they kind of screwed up when they gave us that spork thing with Skywarp. But anyhow, Thundercracker looks great, and now we jump into the juicy stuff, and it is that we finally have a name for Junkion 2, and his name is Crash Bar, and he looks pretty awesome. I'll just give you some of my initial thoughts. Love the bike mode, love the Junkions just as a concept. You know, I think they're one of the best things to come out of the Generations line in a very long time. Looks awesome in bike mode. He is also cross-compatible with himself, so if you buy two of these, you can combine them, which I will showcase in my upcoming review. And here we have an image of him in the robot mode. Follows a very similar design aesthetic that was set by Scrap Hook. Looks fantastic. Really cannot wait to get my video review of this guy out. And we also got another deluxe reveal, which definitely took me by surprise, and I think was probably one of the biggest surprises for Legacy, that being Shrapnel. So our second Generations deluxe class figure of an Insecticon. We got Kickback last year. I imagine we'll see Bombshell next year. This guy looks fantastic. Really like these updated Insecticons. Awesome to finally see them getting the deluxe class treatment, and you know, not a core class, not a scout class, etc. Like the robot mode. The Insecticon mode doesn't look the greatest, but I think it's just the angle of the photo, so I will reserve my judgment for when I actually get this guy in hand. But yeah, overall not looking too bad at all. We also have here, I think it's Crosscut. This is a repaint of Burnout that we saw for the Velocitron subline, which was a repaint retool of Skids from Wave 1 of Legacy. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this made it onto the top worst figures of 2022, so I'm not that excited about this. I will say the recolor looks cool. I mean, the metallic silver, especially in the vehicle mode, looks awesome. Not too sure why they decided to go with red wheels in the vehicle. Here we have an image of him here in the bot mode. You can see he does use that Burnout head sculpt, which kind of looks like Optimus Prime. Yeah, I'm going to review it, so be sure to stay tuned to that. And we finally get an official reveal for the Legacy Evolution animated universe Prowl, which looks fantastic. Bike mode, you know, looking a little kind of gappy in certain aspects, but I think the robot mode is really where this is at. A great fusion of the old and the new. This is what I wished the Transformers Prime characters could be, and don't worry, they may have just fixed those Prime characters when we talk about a certain figure for the leader class. Then we jump into the Voyager class. Now these were a complete surprise, although I think they leaked last night, I could be mistaken. And the first one is a Voyager class Metal Hawk. Now I believe this is a retool of Cyclonus that we saw for Kingdom, and it wasn't until my buddy told me this, I literally wouldn't have been able to guess, as they've done such an extensive retool job on this guy. The jet mode looks awesome, really like that. I mean, Cyclonus was one of the best generation figures I think we have seen for at least the past decade, so I'm not complaining at all. And here we have an image of him in the robot mode. Now I do believe this guy is supposed to be a pretender. Not too sure why they're messing around with the scale. We've got some core pretenders, Voyager pretenders, deluxe pretenders, but this looks really accurate. I know there's going to be some of you guys out there that aren't too keen on them scrapping the whole pretender shell idea. This is something new, it's something refreshing. Honestly, I can't complain that much. I really like the way this guy looks. And in robot mode, you can kind of see a few of those Cyclonus pieces, only in the shoulders though. Everything else, I think for the most part, besides the shoulders, the thighs, and the feet, are brand new. And then we jump into another one. This is Twincast. I think he was rumored to be a part of Wave 4 for Legacy originally, but he's been moved into Wave 2 for Evolution. I mean, it's exactly what it would say on the tin. It's basically a redeco of Blaster, this time with that smirking alternate head sculpt, which I think also kind of leaked out with some of the later batches of Blaster, but it's nice to see them giving him a new head sculpt. I wish we could have seen something similar to this with their Shad Glass Blaster, but decent color deco. You know, he will also come with his cassette minion, which is Energon infused with this kind of dark smoky plastic. And then kind of wrapping it up for the main line of Legacy, we finally have a leader class Revolution, and it is the long leaked, I mean, we saw this guy months ago. This is Skyquake, inspired by Transformers Prime. Now I don't think I've actually voiced my thoughts on this guy. Personally, I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's an amazing blend of Transformers Prime and kind of this new G1 aesthetic that they're going for with some of these other universe characters. I think it looks awesome. I mean, mean, here we have an image of him here in the jet mode, and it was officially confirmed that yes, this is compatible with Needle Nose. So I will also be showcasing that off in my upcoming review, but jet mode looks sick. You know, Skyquake was one of those characters which sadly I was never able to get a hold of back in the day. I only got Dreadwing. You know, Skyquake I think was made in very limited quantities, or maybe came out in one of the last waves of Transformers Prime. So it's cool to see this updated version in the leader class, and here we have an image of him in the robot mode. Now I'm sure we'll see countless repaints and retools of this in the future. We're definitely going to be seeing his brother Dreadwing. It is just a shame that because it's a leader, it's going to be a very hefty price tag for a repaint, but you know, a necessary purchase if you're a fan of Transformers Prime. And yeah, this guy looks really awesome. And then we have an image of everything that was showcased for Legacy Evolution Wave 2. Looking pretty sweet. Now we jump into some of the pipeline reveals. Now this is something that I've wanted the Transformers team to do for so long. I think they do it for Star Wars, and I'm pretty certain they do it for G.I. Joe Classified Series 2. And it's awesome, you know, it basically confirms some of those leaked listings that have been circulating. So we're expecting to see for, I think it's Wave 3 of Legacy Evolution, G1 DevCon. So that's awesome. There's also a Beach Coma, which was confirmed. Very excited for that one. I also think that was one that was leaked on a listing, so great to get it officially confirmed. There's also going to be, for a Voyager class, Axel Grease Junkion. Now I think it's a Voyager class. Great that we finally got a name. You know, when this guy does eventually come out, we won't all be guessing as to what his name is. We won't be slapping a label on him like Junkion 3, so that's really cool. And they finally confirmed that we're going to be getting, or maybe actually Axel Grease is the deluxe class. They didn't specify, I don't think, what classes these were, so I'm merely just going off memory. I think this is actually a deluxe class, as then we jump into Voyager, and it is a Dirge. And they did confirm that it is specifically a War for Cybertron Earthrise Dirge repack. So they've given this to collectors that perhaps couldn't get their hands on that Conehead 2-pack. You know, that was very elusive. I think it came out when the world was in an absolute state, so fantastic for those of you who missed out on that one. They also confirmed that we're going to be getting a Leo Convoy repaint in the form of Nemesis Leo Prime, which is sick. And then we jump into some very, very cool pipeline reveals, those being Armada Leader Class Megatron, and apparently it comes with the Star Saber. I mean, that's sick. You know, considering it's a leader class, it would make sense for it to come with some of those larger accessories. I wasn't too keen on the Star Saber that we saw included with Hotshot, so it's great to see that we could potentially be getting a slightly better one. And that pretty much wrapped it up for some of these pipeline reveals. It was unfortunate not to see the Nemesis or the Commander Class one teased, but you know, it is what it is. They said that they're going to do another live stream, I think in March, so I guess we'll just have to wait for them to see some of the other product images of these characters. And they also confirmed, and I kind of hinted at this, you know, I suggested it, I guess I should say, when I did my review of the Holiday Optimus Prime, that I would love to see that in the traditional Prime colours, and that is exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be re-releasing the Holiday Volvo Optimus Prime, but in his traditional G1 colour scheme, which I think is awesome. You know, had I known that, I maybe wouldn't have picked up Holiday Prime, as I think this is definitely going to be the superior redeco, but awesome nonetheless. Very, very excited. So I mean, overall, it was a pretty decent live stream. I thought the Rise of the Beast roundups were cool. It was nice to see kind of a clarification on Freezer. It was good to get some better images of RC. And then when we jump into the Evolution reveals, really cool core class, you know, Grimlock. Again, I'm going to reserve my judgment for. Awesome Junkion, love Crash Bar, and Insecticon was cool, Voyagers were cool, and the leader was very awesome. So I'd love to get your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think of some of these reveals and the Through the Space Bridge pipeline reveals? What are you guys most excited for, and what figure out of Legacy Wave 2 and Studio Series would you guys like to see next up over on the channel? As always, I thank you all so much for watching. Sound off down below, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.